Hey YouTube, what's going on? I'm your host Joss. Welcome back to Top 10 Beyond the Screen. Make sure you're following us on social media for any behind the scenes stuff. Our links are down below. Also, it's tradition around here that I do some comment shoutouts at the end of each video, so make sure you stick around for that because that is always fun. Celebrity feuds are nothing new. But what happens when the stars who hate each other are forced to work together? We gotta admit, that would suck. Usually they will keep it professional and do what they have to do, but sometimes they just flat out refuse to be in a scene with their enemy. Let's check out who some of these people are with today's list of top 10 actors who refuse to shoot scenes together. Starting off our list at number 10 is Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones. It's no secret that Jim Carrey has a larger than life personality and he appears to have a heart of gold, which would make him a hard man to hate, or so you would think. But apparently one of his co-stars, Tommy Lee Jones, wasn't a fan of his goofy behavior. It was said that when they filmed the 1995 Batman Forever movie, there was a lot of tension on set to a point where they didn't want to shoot their scenes together. Jim spoke about the feud on the Howard Stern show back in 2014 and said that there was an encounter in a restaurant during filming when Tommy let him know how he really felt. Jim told the story saying, "The blood drained from his face in such a way that I realized that I had become the face of his pain. And he told me, I hate you. I really don't like you. I cannot sanction your buffoonery." He went on to say that Tommy didn't want to work with him at that point, but that he wished him the best seeing as the part does require them to be in some scenes together. So they either toughed it out or filmed them separately. Either way we couldn't tell, so the editors must have done a really good job. In our next spot at number 9 is Emma Watson and Channing Tatum. Both stars made appearances in Seth Rogen's comedy called This Is the End. The movie was filled with stars and these two stars had cameos that originally overlapped in the script. Near the end of the movie, Channing shows up in a gimp mask acting as a sex toy of Danny McBride. Okay. Apparently Emma Watson was supposed to be in the scene too, but when she saw what was happening, she ended up walking off set and calling her agent. In the scene, Channing starts dancing in a thong, obviously Magic Mike, which is when Emma refused to continue filming the scene with him. One of the extras in the scene said they all knew that he was going to be stripping in a thong as it said so in their script, but that his behavior was just too raunchy for her. James Franco, who's close friends with Seth, did an interview in 2013 and said, I quote, "This actress, I won't say who, but she had a smaller role in the film, walked off the movie in the middle of a scene. What was going around her was, I guess, too extreme for her, and she said, yeah, I've gotta leave." You're not fooling anyone, James. We know that you were talking about Emma. Sliding into the number 8 spot is Ryan Reynolds and Wesley Snipes. You've probably all heard the horror stories by now of what it was like to work with Snipes on the set of Blade Trinity. If you haven't, to sum it up, he'd smoke weed in his trailer all day, tried to literally strangle the director, and then after the altercation, only communicated with the director through post-it notes. Sounds like a ray of sunshine. In 1998, Snipes took on the role of Blade and co-starred alongside Ryan Reynolds. To no surprise, it was reported that Ryan would often joke around, improvise, and ad-lib some of his jokes while on set. Snipes couldn't take it, and apparently he would only come to set for his close-up scenes with Ryan, and everything else was filmed with his stand-in for Ryan. Although most people involved in the movie have since come forward saying that it wasn't a pleasant experience to film with Snipes anyways, so the feeling may have been mutual. Next up at number 7 is Will Smith and Anthony Michael Hall. Now, this one is fully on Smith, but I'm sure Anthony Hall might have felt some type of way about it in the end. The two actors starred together in the 1993 movie 6 Degrees of Separation. Will's character was gay and the script required the two of them to kiss, and Will was feeling a little squeamish about the kissing scene. Instead of puckering up and doing his job for the movie, he backed out of the scene and refused to film it. A Will Smith stand-in was eventually used for the lip service, and the real actor began to regret his decision not too long after. Later down the road, he told Entertainment Weekly during an interview, I quote, "It was very immature on my part. I wasn't emotionally stable enough to artistically commit to that aspect of the film. In a movie with actors and a director and a writer of this caliber, for me to be the one bringing something cheesy to it, this was a valuable lesson for me. Either you do it or you don't." We can only assume that Anthony Hall wasn't wanting to shoot the scene either after watching Smith refuse and back out so quickly. I mean, that's probably not the most comforting feeling. In at number 6 is Val Kilmer and Tom Sizemore. The two actors starred together in the 2000 sci-fi thriller called Red Planet. The two of them already had previous history for feuding on set, but regardless, they teamed up for another movie. Probably not the best idea. However, people working on the film and other cast members say that they could tell the two actors actors were ticking time bombs on set. Reports say that Tom requested for his elliptical machine to be shipped to their filming location, and that apparently irritated Kilmer. From there, Val started to complain about his co-star's special treatment and brought up their salary differences. The director started making comments to them saying that they are not allowed to hit each other in the face, trying to make light of it. But nothing could stop the fight from happening that everyone saw coming. The two men got into an altercation and Tom punched him in the chest instead of the face. So I guess that's a good thing. Filming then got difficult because the two of them didn't want to work together anymore. Turns out they are friendly with each other now, but they still think it's best that they don't fly off to space together anytime soon. Halfway through the list, at number 5 is Helen Hunt and Bill Paxton. This one you would never be able to tell by watching the movie because it's actually what happened after the movie. The two of them teamed up for the iconic disaster movie Twister, which is still one of the biggest hits in modern disaster movies. It's a classic. In the 1996 movie, a love story was told about two divorced meteorologists, which was played by Helen and Bill. Their acting and chemistry in the movie was totally believable, but apparently when the camera wasn't rolling, the two of them did not get along. Helen ended up saying that she hated the experience altogether and told Huffington Post that it was a nightmare. Despite not liking Bill, she was professional about it and filmed her scenes up until they decided to make a ride based after the movie. Universal Studios created Twister Ride It Out, which was in Orlando for 17 years. At the beginning of the ride, scenes played of Helen and Bill who would warn you about the power of the wind and do fun little bits together. Turns out, it actually was not done together. The two of them refused to film together and it was filmed separately, which is why you would see it playing on two different screens. They would acknowledge each other as if they filmed it together, but they didn't at all. Here we are at number 4 with Julia Roberts and Nick Nolte. The 1994 movie I Love Trouble wasn't reviewed as the best rom-com of all time, and it might be because the two lovers had a lot of tension between them when filming. Multiple sources who worked on the movie told Los Angeles Times that the two co-stars could not stand one another. One person said, "The discord was so intense the two played more stand-ins than to each other." Their characters in the movie are actually very competitive, and apparently they both went to great lengths to insult and irritate each other throughout the filming process. It got to a point where the two of them refused to appear in the same frame together. So stand-ins were hired in those scenes to interact with the stars. After filming wrapped, Julia told the New York Times, I quote, "Nick could be charming and nice, but he's also completely disgusting." Nick responded through an interview with The Atlantic saying, "It's not nice to call someone disgusting, but she's not a nice person. Everyone knows that." Damn, this one seems a little bit intense. Alright guys, we are at number 3 with Lena Headey and Jerome Flynn. The pair used to get along to a point where they were actually dating. However, they went through a pretty bitter breakup in 2003, which apparently has not been forgotten. X marks the spot for the two of them, who worked together on Game of Thrones after the breakup. Turns out the two of them never actually shared any screen time together besides one brief scene in season 3. According to the Telegraph, after the ugly split, they refused to be in the same room together, which you can imagine would make filming a complete nightmare. A source told the paper, "Jerome and Lena aren't on speaking terms anymore, and they are never in the same room at the same time. It's a pity because they appeared to have patched things up for a while, but now the word is that they should be kept apart at all costs." This meant that the two characters have never exchanged a word on the show and have only been in the same shot once in the scene where they didn't even look at each other. In spot number 2 is Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams. This one actually really surprised me, I'm not gonna lie. I loved them together in The Notebook. So cute. If you've seen it, there is no way you could forget the beautiful love story these two stars acted out. They had incredible on-screen chemistry, but apparently in the beginning, their off-screen relationship was a toxic one. The director, Nick Cassavetes, told VH1 the story of how Ryan could not stand working with Rachel at first. He said, "Maybe I'm not supposed to tell this story, but they were really not getting along one day on set. Really not. Ryan was doing a scene with Rachel and says, 'Would you take her out of here and bring in another actor to read off camera with me?' I said, 'What?' And he says, 'I can't do it with her. I'm just not getting anything from this.'" Apparently things got so bad that he even asked to shoot his intimate scenes with a stand-in actress. Turns out though, they were able to overcome their differences. So much so that they ended up dating in real life. What? You go from not wanting to do scenes together to dating? I don't get it. Taking over the number 1 spot on our list is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Vin Diesel. Their characters Dominic Toretto and Luke Hobbs first met in Fast 5, where they were on opposite sides of each other. We later learned that the animosity between their characters actually went beyond the screen. Haha. be on the screen. While filming the 8th movie of the franchise, The Rock posted on social media about dealing with a candy ass on set. Fans immediately knew which co-star he was talking about since rumors were already going around that these two actors did not like each other. Johnson ended up speaking about it during an interview with Rolling Stone, saying, I quote, "Vin and I had a few discussions, including an important face-to-face in my trailer. And what I came to realize is that we have a fundamental difference in philosophies on how we approach movie making and collaborating. It took me some time, but I'm grateful for the clarity, whether we work together again or not." Turns out they had a lot of problems when it came to filming their scenes together, and oftentimes stand-ins were requested. Honestly, all these stand-in actors are probably just thrilled that these actors all hate each other. Like, what a pretty cool job that would. Just stand here and let this celebrity talk to you. Well, there you have it, guys. That is our list for today. Share all of your thoughts and feelings with me down in the comments below, and hit that thumbs up button so that I know you enjoyed today's list. For now, let's check out some comments from my last video, Top 10 Actors Marvel Won't Hire in the MCU 2020. Lynn Bazink says, I really hope it's a lie about Angelina Jolie having anything to do with Marvel. Never mind anything. I do not watch anything with her. Hate to break it to you, but it's not a lie. She really is in the MCU now. But why is everyone hating on Angelina Jolie? I actually like her. Bobby No Last Name says, we should get a shirtless Thor scene regardless of who takes the role on. I see what you're doing there, Bobby. Marvel is family friendly, but it was a good try. Betty Ann Dean says, I would love to see Wesley Snipes to play Blade again. Don't want a Hulk movie solo and hated Smart Hulk. I honestly had mixed emotions on the Smart Hulk. It was funny at first, but then by the end of the movie I just kind of wanted the original back. Corey Baker says, RIP the whole Marvel characters. Why? Because they are all gone. They aren't all gone, just some of the really good ones are. Alright, that's all I have for you guys. I'm getting out of here. Make sure you subscribe and follow us on social media before taking off. I'm your host Joss, and I will see you in a future video.